Good morning, students. Today we will be doing one of the practical of biochemistry where you will learn how to estimate serum alkaline phosphatase activity. According to the MCI curriculum, the competency addressed in this practical is part of BI 11.14 where the students should be able to demonstrate the estimation of alkaline phosphatase activity. The learning objective of this session are to learn the biochemical role of ALP in human body, to understand the principle and methods to estimate ALP, and to learn the clinical importance of ALP. Let's start by studying the biochemical role of ALP in human body. Let's see what reaction does this enzyme catalyzes. So ALP catalyzes the removal of phosphate group from a wide variety of organic phosphates at alkaline pH, as you can see in this picture. So it is widely distributed, have high concentration in intestines, liver, bone, spleen, placenta and kidney. Its normal levels ranges from 20 to 140 international unit per liter. In children's, higher levels are there because of osteoblastic activity. Now, since the first description of ALP by Suzuki and colleagues in 1907, it has been investigated continuously and extensively. But little is known regarding the physiological function of ALP in most tissues, except the bone isoenzyme has long been thought to have a role in normal skeletal mineralization. Now, the natural substrate for this enzyme appears to be at least three phosphor containing compounds. Number one, phosphoethanolamine, inorganic phosphate, and pyroxyl 5 phosphate. And how we can say that these are the natural substrate? So this is evidenced by increased plasma or urinary levels of each of these in subjects with hypophosphatasia, that is in those individual where this enzyme is low. So these compounds increase, but this is still uncertain. Now, indeed, a variety of mechanisms have been proposed to explain the role of ALP in bone mineralization. However, apart from its role in normal bone mineralization, the other function of liver, bone, and kidney remains obscure in physiological and neoplastic conditions. We have four different isoenzymes of ALP based on tissue of origin. Number one is placental alkaline phosphatase, now also known as Reagan isoenzyme. It is heat stable. Please remember this. Sometimes we ask in the viva. So this heat stability is seen in the as measured as time in minutes required to give 50% inactivation at 65 degrees Celsius. So this enzyme can be stable for more than 60 minutes. So it is source is placenta and it is trace amounts is seen in the normal serum. Now second isoenzyme is intestinal alkaline phosphatase. Tissue of origin is intestine and it's in 6.5 minutes, around 6 minutes, half of it is inactivated at 65 degrees Celsius. Next we have tissue non-specific ALP coming from liver, bone and kidney, and it is also heat labile. And the last is germ cells ALP. Now it is present in low levels in germ cells of embryonal origin and sometimes in neoplastic tissues. Now these ALP isoenzymes can be separated by electrophoresis. Now it is to be noted that the liver and bone isoenzymes are the most commonly responsible for an increase in the total ALP activity in the serum. Now let's look at the principle and method to estimate ALP. Now we will be using the method of Kind and King using phenyl phosphate as a substrate. Now serum alkaline phosphatase act on disodium phenyl phosphate at pH around 10 to form phenol and phosphate radical. Now this phenol formed reacts with 4-amino antipyrine in the presence of alkaline oxidizing agent potassium ferricyanide to give red color complex. Now the amount of phenol formed as indicated by the intensity of the color developed is a measure of the ALP enzyme activity. Of course, we will let the reaction run for a fixed amount of time, and in this case it will be 15 minutes. We will compare the color developed in the test solution to the standards of known concentration and calculate the corresponding value of the unknown test solution. Let's see what reagents we will be using. So we will be using a buffer which is at pH 10. Now this will be providing the alkaline pH for the ALP to act on the substrate, and the substrate next is the substrate. So this is M by 100 disodium phenyl phosphate, which will provide the substrate, will act as a substrate. Next, before I talk about the standards, I want to introduce the King Angstrom unit. So King Angstrom unit defined as 1 unit of alkaline phosphatase that liberates 1 milligram of phenol from phenyl phosphate per 15 minutes per 100 ml of serum. So we will be making a stock phenol standard of 1 milligram per ml, so that is around 100 milligram per 100 ml. Now we will dilute this phenol stock standard to working phenol standards of various known concentrations of 5 milligram per 100 ml, 10 milligram, 20 milligram and 40 milligram. So as you can see from the previous definition, so 5 milligram per 100 ml will be equivalent to 5 KAU if we per 100 ml if we let the reaction go for 15 minutes. Next, the other reagents we will be using are N by 2 sodium hydroxide. So how this will help? So it will help in raising the pH to 11.5 to 11.6 and destroying the enzyme activity and stopping the reaction. Next, we will be using M by 2 sodium bicarbonate. So this will help in bringing the pH back to 10.2. Next, we will use the coloring agent. So that is the 4-amino antipyrine and potassium ferricyanide. So that is the oxidizing agent for the reaction. Now let's see the method. So first we will label 2 test tubes as test and control. For that, let's see the reagents we will be adding to the test. So we will take 2 ml of the buffered substrate, and then we will warm it for 5 minutes at 37 degrees Celsius. Put it in the water bath and add 0.1 ml of the plasma given, and then you will be incubating it at 37 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes. Then you will be adding N by 2 NaOH, that is to stop the reaction. And as you can see in the control test tube, everything is same. Now you will add the plasma here after stopping the reaction. So control is for the test, everything is same except we are not getting the reaction done by stopping the enzyme activity. Continuing with the method, so in the test and control tube we will now generate the color. So we'll bring the pH back to 10.5 by adding sodium bicarbonate 1.2 ml in both the test tubes. Add 4-amino antipyrine, that is the coloring agent, potassium ferricyanide, and mix and read the OD at 520 nanometers. Now let's look at the standards and blank test tubes. So we will have 4 standards and 1 blank test tubes. So we will add the buffered substrate 2 ml. Standards of different concentration, again 0.1 ml each in all the standards, and blank nothing, where we will just put the distilled water. Then the usual reagents, then of N by 2 sodium hydroxide, 0.8 ml in each of the test tubes, M by 2 sodium bicarbonate, amino antipyrine, and potassium ferricyanide. Mix and read at 520 nanometer. So the blank is just different from standard in you just have the distilled water. So what is the purpose of the blank? So the blank will take into account any color given by the uh, coloring reagent or any other reagents in the reaction. So blank will help in removing that color. Now let's see how you will do the calculation. So getting the results. So I am showing you this is the calculation method. So I will take one of the standards, like standard 2 I have taken, that is 10 KAU per 100 ml. So in this standard we have used 0.1 ml of this standard in our reaction. So this will equivalent to 0.01 milligram. So now we know the usual formula. So OD of the test minus the OD of the control divided by OD of the standard minus OD of the blank into the amount of the standard in this test tube will be, that is, the amount of phenol is 0.01 milligram. And so this is an amount of serum we have taken is 0.1 ml. But we need to calculate for 100 ml, so we just multiply by 100, and all these factors will reduce to 10, and then you can calculate, you will get the value in KAU per 100 ml. So this is the King Angstrom unit. So defined as 1 milligram of phenol from phenyl phosphate per 15 minutes per 100 ml. So we have let the reaction run for 15 minutes and we have calculated the enzyme activity for 100 ml by multiplying by 100. Now this is the how to calculate the ALP using the standard curve. So what you need to do is you need to plot the OD of all the standards and their corresponding KAU per deciliter on the graph. Please make sure that you remove the blank OD from the standards, and also for the test then you have to remove the OD of the control from the test, and when you draw the standard curve you can just take the OD and then on the x-axis you will get the corresponding KAU per deciliter. Now we have to sometimes we have to express the enzyme activity in international units. Now this is defined as the amount of enzyme that catalyzes the conversion of 1 micromole of substrate per minute under the specified conditions of the assay method. So here the time is 1 minute and the amount is expressed in micromoles. So we have to convert. So for ALP we have to, one international unit will generate 1 micromole of phenol per minute. Now how we can convert the King Angstrom unit to international unit per liter. So this is for 1 liter. Okay, for first we will let's see the amount. So we have to convert milligrams to micromoles. First we will divide by 1000. Milligram will change to grams. So because 1 gram has 1000 milligrams, so we divide by 1000. So next divide by 94 because molecular weight of phenol is 94. So that will change the grams into number of moles. Once we get the moles, we multiply by 10 to the power 6 to convert to micromoles, because 1 mole has 10 to the power 6 micromoles. Now our results Ku here given per 100 ml per 15 minutes. So we need to divide by 15 to convert per minute and multiply by 10 to convert the results to 1 liter. Now once you put all these factors in place, that will be reduced to 7, approximately 7. So you need to multiply the results in Ku into 7 to convert your units to international units per liter. Now let's see the reference interval. So these units I have taken from Teet's textbook of clinical chemistry, and as you can have a look, go through these. So normally it is around 50 to 129, 130 units per liter. Now children shows higher ALP activity than healthy adults as a result of the leakage of bone ALP from osteoblasts during bone growth, as children are having the growing bones. Now let's see the clinical importance of ALP in human body. Now alkaline phosphatase activity is increased in obstructive liver diseases, for example due to cholestasis, gallstone, and carcinoma of the head of the pancreas. And in bone diseases, for example, rickets, osteomalacia, Paget diseases, or cancer of the bone. Now, elevated levels can also be seen during healing of fracture because of the osteoblastic activity, active growth, and during the third trimester of pregnancy. This slide shows various causes of increased alkaline phosphatase activity. For example, physiological in infancy, puberty, pregnancy, and some intestinal isoenzymes. Bone diseases, hyperparathyroidism, osteomalacia, rickets, Paget's disease of bone, osteomyelitis. Hepatobiliary diseases, hepatitis, chronic cirrhosis, and cholestasis. Others, carcinoma of the bronchus, liver, or gut. As I already mentioned that germ cells also or neoplastic cells also have this ALP activity. So ALP enzyme is usually normal in osteoporosis as osteoblastic activity is not increased. Modest increase of ALP is seen in osteomalacia and rickets. Healing fractures, transient increase. Primary and secondary hyperparathyroidism increases they are seen. In Paget disease, almost quite large increases seen, almost 10 times. And primary and secondary bone tumors, again a quite high, almost like 5 times normal ALP is rise is seen. When do we see the lower levels of ALP? So they are seen in hypophosphatasia, post-menopausal women receiving estrogen therapy because of osteoporosis. Children after a severe episode of enteritis, pernicious anemia, aplastic anemia, chronic myelogenous leukemia, Wilson's disease. Oral contraceptives have been demonstrated to reduce the alkaline phosphatase activity. So when you are seeing a woman in the reproductive age group, you should also can don't forget to ask in the oral history of oral contraceptives. These are some of the references which I have used in preparing this practical. So I will be uploading these papers, some of the papers, and you can have a look to find more information. Please write this practical in your practical file and let me know if you have any queries. Thanks.